Yo, I don't get it, yo. What the f is wrong with the media, son? Like, why do they keep coming at video games? I don't understand it. I don't know if you guys saw this video, but I'm gonna link it in the description, man. Pretty much, basically, what happened was some kid decided to carjack some chick's car and drive speeding down the road until he crashed into like a fenced door or something like that. So the media sees this and they want to go and pretty much say it's the fault of Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, since Grand Theft Auto 5 is a new release game and it's a controversial video game that has a lot of violence and crimes in it, so they decided to go after this game because it sold billions and say, okay, well, this guy played Grand Theft Auto 5 and he decided to relive it in real life. He couldn't separate, fiction from real life, so he decided to go steal a car and do what he did on Grand Theft Auto. Now I found it stupid, yo, because stuff like this has been going on for a long time, and I already did a commentary about this, yo, but it's just the media just keeps, they are trying to drive some kind of agenda. They're trying to get rid of violent video games for no reason, and half of the people that's doing this are people who don't play video games, never touched one in their life, and if they did, they probably played Mrs. Pac-Man back in 1982 or something, and they're seeing these games now, and they're like, oh, well, I don't like video games because they're violent. It's like all old people, so they don't know what the hell they're talking about, so they're just sitting here trying to pick some kind of a scapegoat to say that, video games are what's causing violence in the youth. But they don't think about the fact that back in the day, where video games weren't, violent, like back in the 80s and all that, these same crimes were going on. Like, you had people stealing cars, you had people having shootouts, you had people going around committing mass murders before video games. So I don't understand, dog. Like, okay, so this is something I told JG about, because I was talking about the same thing we're talking about now. So you telling me Jack the Ripper played Grand Theft Auto back in the day? Because people like to kill prostitutes after they have sex with them on Grand Theft Auto. Did Jack the Ripper, the guy who was back in like the 1800s or whatever it was, who went on he was a serial killer. He went around just killing a whole bunch of prostitutes. Was he playing Grand Theft Auto at the time when that happened? No. Was the guy who got up in that tower, I think it was in either Oklahoma or Texas, with a sniper rifle, sniping a whole bunch of people at a university, killing them back in the 50s or 60s? I think it was the 60s. Back in the 60s, was he playing Grand Theft Auto? No. So I don't understand, dog. Like, why are they sitting here talking about video games like video games are the only violent thing in the media? You got music, you got movies, and movies probably are the worst one, because I know out of all of y'all, out of all of us who grew up back in the 90s and loved him some Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone movies. Like, I used to love watching any Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, man. Seeing him go out and it's like 8 guys standing in front of him with assault rifles, and all he has is a pistol. He takes all of them out by shooting them. Like, I always wanted to be that badass, yo, watching all those movies. So if anything, movies were the worst. So I remember when I got toy guns, like, I would emulate these guys. Act like I was, Arnold Schwarzenegger and go out and play with my friends and act like I was shooting at them and stuff like that. Movies are the worst. So why are they attacking games? Because it's interactive? Like I said, man, these guys, they're reaching now, man. They're really reaching. I don't know what's going on with the government, but they're trying to push something. They're trying to take violent video games from us. They're trying to, what's the other thing they're trying to do? They're trying to take guns from us. Like, they're just trying a whole bunch of stuff, man. I don't understand what's going on. But this is whatever, man. They need to stop that nonsense, because I've been playing video games, like I said, since like 1980 something. When I got my first console back in 1990, and it was the Nintendo. And I've been playing video games ever since then. I've been playing mature rated games ever since then. I got Mortal Kombat when I was like 7 years old. Yeah, I was 7 or 8. Yeah, and I got Mortal Kombat back then. And I haven't robbed anybody, I haven't killed anybody, or I haven't shot at anybody. I have a clean record. I ain't do none of that nonsense. I used to fight a lot, but that was just because I used to fight a lot. It didn't have anything to do with video games. So I mean, they need to, if the person is going to commit something, the dude was crazy in the first place. I said that before in the other commentary. He was crazy in the first place. I mean, they already put age restriction on video games, and they actually now make sure you have to be 21 or older to get an M-rated game. Because I remember back in the day when I was younger, when I was 14, I could get a mature rated game, no problem. Even though they enforced the law, but you can still get a game without no problem. But now, like, you have to get your card checked and scanned just before you can buy the game. Like, it pops up on the cash register to scan their ID to see how old they are. So they enforce the age thing, man. So what's the problem? We can't help it if adults are buying their kids mature rated games. And fuck that rat, man. So I just ran that rat over, man. Get Duke doing. But yeah, I mean, it's not our fault that these adults are buying their kids these games, man. These violent video games. But like I said, man, if the kid or the dude was going to be violent in the first place, he already had some kind of mental disorder. Maybe the video games kind of enforced it, but it would have happened regardless. Like I said, there were no video games back in the day. You had all these serial killers. What made them start killing people? Movies weren't violent back then either, so what made these guys get all violent and start going on killing sprees? Because they're just crazy. So dude probably stole the car just to steal the car. It wasn't even Grand Theft Auto, and they just want to blame it on that because the game just released. But anyway, man, leave some feedback on how you feel the government's, why you feel the government's trying to get rid of these violent video games, and you think they're reaching a little too much right now. But this is your boy Tick, aka Game Fanatic, the Michael Jordan of Gaming, and I'm out of here. I'm gone.